Hello and welcome to a new video. So today I want to show you a practical problem. So let's say you have lots of YouTube video description you want to change. Specifically, the links you have in the descriptions, such as these ones, which I use a lot. However, in my case there are lots of videos, so I can't go inside each video and change the links every time, because that would be very tedious and long, so another solution was needed. And the first thing I thought of was using the usual link shortener services, such as Bitly, TinyURL, etc. Okay, as you may know, there are lots of different services. Personally, I haven't used any one of these. There are limits, such as the number of links per account if you don't want to pay, so in the free versions, or when there are no limits, there are some privacy problems. So I thought, since this is an easy problem, apparently an easy problem to solve, I came up with a very simple solution. And you can do it too, because you're not limited to hosting your shortened links on a specific services. You can do it on any website. And so what I came up with is a Git repository, which contains a set of HTML files. And each HTML file contains a link, a redirect link. For example, let's see this file here, okay? Now, all the files are one-liners. So let's see, there is a title, the normal HTML title. Then there is some JavaScript tracking using a self-hosted privacy-respecting solution called Umami, which is an open source project, to do the some pseudonymous tracking. And then there is the core of how it works, which is using an HTML meta refresh tag. So what this does, very simply, is to tell the browser to update to a different page. So for example, here, if we go to this page, which I'll show you in a moment, the browser will be redirected to the DS3231 datasheet. Okay, let's see now when we open the page. Okay, so I copied this file name here. So since this Git repository is hosted on GitHub, what you do is just put the address, because this is served with GitHub Pages. Okay, so Computer Science is the GitHub organization. GitHub.io is the usual domain for GitHub Pages. L is the repository name. Then, as I said, we copy this one just for the demonstration. Okay. See, there is the redirection, and then it just goes to the page. Okay, so this is how it works. It's very, very simple. There is no JavaScript involved except for the tracking. And how this file is generated is by using a Python script. Let's see the requirements. Okay, so there is QR code, because every time a link is generated with the script, a corresponding QR code file is generated as well. It's just not here in the Git repository, it's only in the local version. I decided to avoid tracking these files. Yeah, you see it here. Yeah, so I avoid all PNG files, which are the ones generated by Python QR code dependency. Then there is also Slugify. Now we'll see why. Okay, so this is the script. Let's start from the main function. So there is, of course, the arg parse, because there are two possible commands, one to create new links and one to update existing links. So when a new link is created, and we are interested in getting a unique file name for each URL. So what I'm using here is this hash function, which is in the hashlib in the Python standard libraries. This module is called hashlib, and specifically this Blake2b function has the possibility to set the digest size. So here these links are quite long, but you can shorten them by changing this parameter. And then we have the string generated as an f string, so I can pass the values directly here. And of course, the page title is sent every time a new page is created. Here, title. Okay, so title is a required parameter. It goes inside here, args.title. This one is required. And of course, the file name will be the same as the checksum result here. We have here. Okay, and then we have the title here, the JavaScript tracking code here, the refresh with the timeout, which you can set. Then some static stuff for the manual redirection. And finally, we just write the file with pathlib. And after that, a QR code is created using the checksum we computed here. So it gets passed here. So this is nothing really strange. It's very simple. And yeah, the update command works in a similar way. You just need to pass the existing file name to be updated and the new URL and optionally the title. So the reason for the update functionality to exist is to change, of course, the destination URL. As I told you before, that was the main problem I had. In fact, going back to YouTube, all these URLs, in fact, corresponded to the destination URLs I intended to, but from time to time I needed to change them. And so the reason for doing all this is to avoid going every time inside the description and change this, for example, this URL. So now I just change the file in the repository and I don't have to touch these descriptions anymore. Okay, now let's see the repository locally. So as you see here, every HTML file has its corresponding QR code. As I said before, these are not tracked. So all you have to do is to start your virtual environment. Okay. And then run the help. Okay, so it says error, the following arguments are required. Command, the commands, as I said, are create and update. So create minus help. So we need the URL, the destination URL, and a title. Okay, for example, if I want to create a shortened link for this page, which is from w3schools.com, what you have to do is just to copy the link. Okay, put it here between quotes just in case, and then create a title for it. Demo Booleans W3 schools. Okay, so here it's telling me that the new page will be available at this address, and at the moment it's not available yet because I still haven't pushed and commit to the repository. Before doing that, I will show you what is inside this new file. As you see, here is the URL, this one and this one in case the automatic redirection doesn't work. This is the JavaScript tracking using Umami. Okay, so now I committed in my local repository. Now I'm going to push. So now we can check the repository and see if the GitHub Pages is building it. Okay, you see here it's doing its job. Okay, I think it's nearly done. It usually it's quite fast and sometimes it might take a few minutes depending on the traffic of GitHub. But once it's finished, we can check if our new link is working. So I'm just going to grab the link. Okay, so here it says the job is completed. Now I'm going to paste the link here. Okay, you see it works just fine. So of course the reason to use GitHub instead of another website is that everything is already available. There is the free GitHub Pages build thing. The only thing you have to do is to go into the repository settings, pages here on the left, and then deploy from a branch and save here. Okay, so once you do that, it will automatically build every time you push a commit. And the other crucial information is to use a branding thing. So here I put the name of my YouTube channel. The repository name is going to be a short one. L stands in fact for links or link, whatever you like. And yeah, so this is how it works if you need an alternative to the usual link shortener services. So you still have your personalization. Yeah, if you see before, there is no CSS at the moment, but that can be added in the future. You have your pseudonymous tracking, which is privacy respecting, by the way. And so if you like the video, put a thumbs up and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.